Welcome to the Daily Plunge. We're looking at the Epistle to the Hebrews, chapter 7, verses 18 through 28. The author says that the former regulation, which is the law, was set aside because it was weak. Not only is it weak, it's useless. And it's useless because it doesn't make anyone perfect, doesn't make them holy, doesn't justify them before the Lord. And so he goes on to say, that we draw near to God by the means of a better hope. Well, what's this better hope that God has given to you and me? Well, it's Jesus Christ. He is the guarantor of a better hope, of a better covenant. And that's why he says that God has given an oath. He has sworn, and he's not going to change his mind. Because when God makes a promise, it's forever, right? And he has appointed Jesus Christ to be a permanent priest. And so in verse 25, it says that Christ exists to intercede for you and me. He exists to be our priest. And he is holy, he's blameless, he's pure. And although he's not a sinner, he exists for us sinners. He's set aside to serve us and to ultimately give himself for us. And he's exalted because he is lifted up, beyond death and lives forever at the right hand of God to intercede for you. And so as we get into verse 25, because he's able to save you and me completely, those who come to God through him, through his work, by means of him, okay? And what does that mean? Is that, as it says in verse 27, unlike the other high priests who had to go and give a sacrifice for themselves and who themselves were sinners, who were not pure and blameless, right? Jesus Christ is not like them. He doesn't need to keep sacrificing for himself. He sacrifices once and for all. And he's not sacrificing for himself. He's sacrificing for you and for me. He suffered for all your sins one time. Every one of your sins in one time on the cross. He gives himself for you, to you on the cross. And the author in Hebrews talks about how the offerings of the people, they literally, part of the offerings were to benefit the priest, to help support them. Christ doesn't need you to support him, right? Where did Christ's offering come from? And who did it benefit? He didn't go out and have to get a lamb. He just gives himself. And he doesn't have to, he doesn't need it. He gives that solely for you. And so he is a whole nother level of priesthood. He's a much better priest because he's eternal. He's the Son of God. He's perfect forever. He's the permanent, ultimate priest. And he is the eternal way to God. Oh, well, forgive me. Hey, my friends, have a blessed day, and we'll talk to you soon.